Chapter 6. An Unusual Friend. Freak, monster, devil child, doesn't belong, street rat, riffraff, I don't buy that. The words echoed throughout Screwball's nightmares. Go back to the Canterlot Gardens where you belong. No, she murmured, tossing her bed. You're evil, just like your daddy. No. This girl was instantly at the bedside. Unfortunately, she had not put a barrier around her room as well. Screwball, honey, he gasped. What's wrong? I'm starting to think maybe homeschool would be a good idea right about now. But of course, the simple solutions never pay attention to me. The filly shrieked as her eyes popped open. She sighed relief at the sight of her father. I'm okay, Daddy. I just had a bad dream. Oh, I see. He sat upon the bed. Care to talk about it? It was those things they said to me today. They won't go away. Is that all? He took her to his arms and patted her on the back. There. What do I always say? Screwball crunched her nose. What fun is there in making sense? No, the other thing. Never bring a pie to a cake fight. No, I mean about name-calling. Oh, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Exactly. Well, technically the sticks and stones won't hurt you either under a healing spell, but you get the picture. She pulled away from his embrace and looked at him desperately. But Dad, what if they're right? I lost my mind today. I even scared my friends. Magic. Training. Twilight. He waved his paws over a minor detail. Every pony loses their mind once in a while. You should have seen your mother at her first Grand Galloping Gala. He cocked his chin. Actually, you can. He snapped his fingers and an image appeared on the wall. Screwball gasped at the sight of a slightly younger version of her mother in a torn ball gown, standing beside his net. I'll get you yet, my pretties, she said creepily to the animals carrying fear. Oh yes, as soon as one of you little birds or monkeys or bears touches his net, you'll be mine! I'm sorry, I cannot do it as awesomely insane as Andrea did. Zena broke into maniacal laughter, lightning striking from nowhere. Screwball did not know whether to be scared or amused. It's hard to believe that the mare she was watching was her sweet, nurturing mother. Discord sighed in awe. Yes, isn't she ravishing? He snapped the image away. Now you know not to get on your mother's bad side. The treatment she gave you and I today was nothing. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Screwball admitted. It's worse. I'm crazy on both sides. She groaned and collapsed into her pillow. Screwball. And then she disappeared. Oh wait, this is not Beetlejuice and Lydia's daughter. This guard said, shaking his head. Every pony's crazy. Some sort does better than others. I'm making one of them, she mumbled, flipping onto her side. It's nothing to be ashamed of, Speedy, her father assured her, stroking her head. You have something that other ponies do not. Chaos. And where is that going to get me? Look at what it did to you. This girl was taken aback by this. Screwball sat up and faced him. I'm sorry, but... She hugged her knees. Sometimes I think I might go too crazy. That I might turn evil. That they'll turn me into stone. Oh, honey, don't say such a thing. He tenderly wrapped his arms around her. No pony's going to turn you to stone, or bring any harm of any sorts. Not while I'm here to protect you. He wiped her tears from her face. Did I ever tell you the time I snapped in front of your mother? The filly shook her head with a wisp. Well, it happened while I had your mother imprisoned. It was her birthday, and I brought her friends over for a visit. In the midst of that, she told them she didn't love me. She didn't know I was listening, and, well, it broke my heart as well as my sanity. I'll spare you the details, but let's say my rampage involved turning Applejack into cereal, and trying to sparkle a horn into a candy cane. Yeah, and it was the most dull, boring, uninteresting part of the whole fic. Screwball snickered at the thought. It may sound funny to you, But you see me at the time, you wouldn't have laughed. He sighed as he remembered that fateful day. I had lost so much control, I ended up physically hurting your mother. I could no longer keep her, knowing what I did, knowing that she would never have forgiven me, so I let her go. But you know something? She returned to me, and we finally confessed our feelings for each other. So how does that apply to me? See, Screwball asked, growing slightly impatient. Are you saying that no matter what I do, every pony's gonna be okay with it? Not every pony, only the ones that matter. Tell me, Screwy, after today's incident, did any pony forgive you? She pondered. My friends? Then they're the only ones that matter. For me, that was your mother, and that's what saved me from losing complete control. Your powers are special, my dear, but never lose sight of what is really important. Understand? She did not understand completely, but she nodded anyway. Good. Her father smiled. Now, let's get you back to bed, shall we? Screwball crawled back under the covers and smiled up at the Draconicus as he tucked her in. Would you sing me a lullaby, Daddy? He paused and chuckled. I think you prefer your mother to sing for you. No, her voice is beautiful, but I also like it when you sing. He sighed and sang the lullaby he wrote for her. This time he added a new verse. Remember that one time I took you to that baseball game. You got your cutie mark, and things were never quite the same. Your wild pitches flew, driving all the ponies insane. 'Cause I am your daddy Discord, and you are a piece of me. It was a subtle reminder of how special she was to him. I love you, Daddy, Scribble said when he was finished. He kissed her forehead. And I love you too, my little abomination. When Scribble awoke, it was nearly dawn. Cialta rose early, as it gave her the perfect opportunity to sneak out. She needed to clear her head. Putting her hat on, she opened the door a crack and saw her dad was still asleep on the couch. She flew in the air and slowly made her way to the front door. Seeing that she had not stirred her father, Scribble transported outside the colorful castle and crossed the bridge to the Everfree. Teleporting was harder than it looked. At her current age, the filly could travel no further than a few feet. Even that would have left her slightly dizzy. This is why she ran the rest of the way. She came upon the brown lake, what she had found a few times since she snuck out. The water had not been brown then. She turned to the chocolate milk so the creatures of the forest would not come for a drink, so she would be left alone. This was her sanctuary, where she could spend her chaos freely. No rules, no judgment, no ponies. That's her and chaos. Miles away, in a forest much darker and more sinister than the Everfree forest, Queen Chrysalis was sitting on her throne, plotting her next move. One of her servants approached cautiously. Your Majesty, he whimpered with a bow. The prince is here to see you. Oh, yes, the queen muttered. Let him come forth. The changeling who had approached him was slightly different than the others. While he had a sleek black body with a green beetle's back, translucent wings, and deformed legs, he had blue hair flowing down to his shoulders, and green eyes with black pupils. He was quite young, a foal at that, a small male version of the queen. Don't do that joke. Don't. His name was Kovu. Just couldn't get away from doing the whole entire Lion King 2 joke, could you? No, it's just not me. He was quite young, full of that, a small male version of the queen. Ah, my son, she said with pride. She stepped down from her throne to inspect his growth. She lifted his chin so he may look into her eyes. Today's the day you go on your first hunt. If you are ever to one day rule as king, you must be able to find food for your subjects. Are you ready, my dear? The prince straightened up and held his head high. I am Mother Zombie. What are the first rule of hunts? Do not get caught. And the second rule, make sure the no pony who tames is not around. And our motto, love is weakness for the victim, but strength for us. Excellent. Now, since you are still young, I suggest you keep your targets simple. Perhaps a young foal of some sort. And steer clear Canterlot. They are always on the lookout for suspicious characters. And don't return until you've had your fill. Go, my son. Make your mother proud. Dazzly feels really good on the back of my throat, people. I'm telling you. The prince nodded and took to the skies. He had not left the Teasley Forest without an escort before, and was not familiar with the outside world. He got at the greenness of it all. He imagined what it would be like to roll in that soft grass. He shook these thoughts out of his mind. He had a job to do. His expedition led him to the Everfree Forest. The best way to catch an unsuspecting pony was in a closed area. He was not aware of the forest's danger or its lack of ponies. He led it on the path and began his search. His ears perked up as he heard a noise. He hid in the bushes and listened again. It was soft, it was haunting. It was the most beautiful thing he ever heard. The sound guided him to a clearing. He got to the site. Where the trees should have been, there was enormous candy canes and slightly less enormous gumdrops surrounding them. The ground was pink and orange with green polka-dotted toadstools, with swirly lollipops growing from it. What's this? What's this? There's magic in the air. What's this? What's this? The prince jumped as suddenly emerged from the muddy lake. It was a filly, looking about his age, wearing a mask and snorkel. The brown water dripped from her curly purple and white mane pink fur. As he started humming, the prince realized that the beautiful melody had been coming from her. The filly sighed. Snorkeling can get boring. A small dinghy appeared beneath her, newspaper hat on top of her head. The prince was astounded, swearing that he had not seen her horn. Sailing, however, she said. She summoned a small mast and pulled a flag with a screw and a baseball on it, measuring her key mark. Dizzy made an eye patch appear over her eye. Arr! She cried, ahoy, mateys! Next stop, Philadelphia, where shall we rob them of their gold, jewels, and their cream cheese? The prince stifled a chuckle. The filly was quite amusing. Yo-ho, yo-ho, a pirate's life for me, she sang. At that moment, something pounded hard inside the prince's chest. He took it as his hunger and remembered what he was here for. He thought back to his mother's lessons and looked into the filly's mind for her loved ones. The first thing he saw startled him, for it was a hideous creature he figured to be her pet. Next was the Pegasus he assumed to be the mother. That would not do. He had not mastered adult transformations yet. Then he saw a unicorn filly with strange eyes. He gagged at the thought of turning into a girl. Well, it was the best he could do. He closed his eyes and concentrated, adopting the pony's shape. In a blaze of green fire, he had turned into the unicorn. The sky's changeling jumped out of the trees and approached the ceiling fitty. Here you are! Screwball shrieked in surprise. She had not told any pony at this place, let alone her best friend. Dinky, what are you doing here? The prince gasped as the filly floated to the shore, changing her paper hat into a propeller one. Then he got a good look at her eyes as he removed the patch. They were like anything he had ever seen before. It could get lost in those hypnotic spirals. Dinky. He stepped out of his trance, remembering he was disguised as the unicorn filly. Dinky, was it? He borrowed one of the excuses his mother taught him. I've been looking for you. Your mother's very sick. But why are you out here? Screwball asked, tilting her head. Don't you know it's dangerous out here? You're out here, aren't you? Well, yeah, but I practically live here. Besides, I thought this forest scared you to death. Chaisley hesitated. But I got brave. Your mom's looking for you. You could feel the love on his tongue. Friendship was not the most filling of meals, but it had a decent taste. Screwball, in the meantime, was growing suspicious. She could not explain it, but she could tell when ponies were lying, and Dinky was not one to lie. You're not Dinky. Chaisley's false eyes widened, and Danny laughed. Don't be silly. Of course I'm Dinky. He squealed as he was lifted up the tail by the ground. He faced his adversary upside down. No, he could not be caught on his first hunt. Put me down. It's me. I'm Dinky. No, you're not, the filly snapped, stopping her hoof. Show yourself. Then the prince was unwillingly changed back to his true self. Screwball gazed at the creature in wonder. Swiss cheese legs, cobweb hair, deformed horn, insect-like wings. He'd never seen anything like it before. What are you? She asked, circling him. How did you do that, Zzz? The prince demanded, finally noticing something about the feeling. More importantly, how did you do that without a horn? That's none of your business. Who do you think you are, posing as my friend? Impersonating ponies is not very nice. But how did you know? He cried out as he rammed his head to the ground. Answer my question. Who are you, and what are you doing here? Are you nuts? The prince hollered before receiving another blow to the head. I'm not nuts. I'm Screwball. What's the difference? Ow! I'll ask you one more time. What are you doing here? He waved his forelegs desperately. Look, I don't want any trouble. I was just so hungry. And Philly's mouth broke into a smile. Well, why didn't you say so? The prince was crying out once more as he dropped him. He grabbed his head in pain. If you're hungry, I could just give you something. Screwball said cheerfully. You like cotton candy? Huh? He uttered. How about chocolate milk? What's chocolate milk? Screwball gasped as he had been stabbed with a knife. You never had chocolate milk. What sick, twisted home did you grow up into? Well, I say it's about time you tried it. She summoned a glass and dipped it into the lake. She handed it to Chaisley. It looked like he had no idea what to do with it. Go on, drink it. He grins. You want me to drink murky water? It's not murky water. It's chocolate milk. Trust me, you'll love it. He figured he should tell her that he did not eat or drink, but for some reason he did not want to disappoint this filly. Still trying to process how she had unmaxed him, why she had not run away by now. So he hesitantly took the glass and raised it to his lips. His eyes shot open as the liquid touched his tongue. Then he chugged the rest of the contents down his throat. This stuff is amazing, he exclaimed. It tastes just like love. Screwball tilted her head. Well, I don't know about that, but I told you it was good. She giggled as the particular coat dropped his glass into the lake. She did not know what it was. I've never seen a creature quite like you before, she stated. I could say the same about you. The prince said, looking over. How do you do all this without a horn? And your eyes are very strange, I know. I was going to say interesting. C+, well, I am a unique pony. You could say that I'm the only one of my kind. Oh, really? What would I give to be the only one of my kinds? Why? How many are you? He filled his glass. Does say I have 5,000 brothers and sisters at home. 5,000? Screwball displaying disbelief. Golly, and that's the grocery bills. The prince burst into laughter. Actually, we get our food from... He trailed off as he heard a loud roar in the distance. The foals turned to see a huge manticore leap out of the trees. He was in a furious state, waving his scorpion stinger frantically. The prince grabbed Screwball's hoof. Let's get out of here. But I can't, he tried to protest. Run. He practically lifted her off the ground as he pulled her along. She was amazed at how strong he was, considering he was slightly smaller than she was. Wait, she cried, tugging out his grasp. You crazy? The changeling asked. That thing is huge. She ignored him and approached the warring beast. Easy, boy. See, Screwball cried, holding out her hose. Or girl, which one are you? The manticore kept wailing. Would you shut up and stop moving for 1 second so I can help you? This time the creature stopped and turned his attention to Philly. That's better, she said, nuzzling his paw with her snoot. It's okay. I won't hurt you. Sorry, so voices there. You won't hurt him, the prince uttered. Screwball looked at the manticore with a smile. Then he held his other paw, revealing a thorn. Typical, she sighed. You manticores should watch where you step. Now, hold still. This'll only take a second. She used her magic to make the thorn disappear. The manticore roared in her face. The prince was about to cry out when the beast began licking her mane. Screwball giggled. Yes, I know. You're welcome. She smoothed out her dampened hair. Run along now, and be careful. The manticore nodded with a smile, advanced into the forest. The prince stared at Philly in awe. How did you... Mom told me to show every little beast some kindness, Screwball explained. It amazes me how many angry manticores have thorns in their paws. That was amazing. You were... He paused as he and Philly got dice. You must be the bravest pony I've ever met. See, plus, you were pretty brave yourself, trying to get me out of danger. Hey, we weren't properly introduced. My name is Screwball. He raised an eyebrow. Screwball? That's weird. I know. Wasn't my idea. No, I mean, it's weird. Because my name is Mothball. See, guess, we're both balls. You two are lucky you're kids. We could invent a whole new sport with our names. Hey, wanna hang out? Prince Mothball blinked, as if he had never heard the expression before. Hang out. Zzz. Yeah, I don't have school today. We could play all morning. Play? She tilted her head out. What's the matter? Don't you know how to play? He said nothing. Oh well, I'll teach you. The prince was skeptical about this. He really should be returning to the hive, but he was feeling so strange around this point. He assumed it was because of the positive emotions emanating from her to his stomach. His mother told him not to return as his belly was full. He could obey the command while staying with the girl. Well, he stammered, can I have more of that chocolate milk? Screwball giggled, sure. Neither of them noticed the changeling scout that had been hovering above, disguised as a fly. He had been sent to keep an eye on the prince. The queen was not going to be happy about this unexpected turn of events. This story is Romeo and Juliet / The Lion King 2. No! Really? I couldn't have guessed! That explains my Kovu joke 5 minutes ago!